A very good morning to all. So kids, in the previous class, we were discussing about the major seasons of our country, and they are summer season, southwest monsoon season, retreating monsoon and winter season. In the previous class, we already discussed about the summer season. So in this class, we will be discussing other three seasons. But before that, let's be familiar with two terms, that is windward slope and leeward slopes. So what do you understand by this? Here, windward slope is the side of the mountain that faces the moisture-laden wind, and the leeward slope is the other side of the mountain that does not face the moisture-laden wind. So let's define it once again. Windward side, it is the side of the mountain which faces the moisture-laden wind, and the leeward side is the other side of the mountain that does not face the moisture-laden wind. So this was about windward slopes and leeward slopes. Next, let's discuss the monsoon season. Here, the monsoon is derived from Arabic word monsoon, meaning season. In some parts of India, monsoon begins in mid-June and continues till September. So we have already discussed that the wind blows from high pressure region to low pressure region, and in this season the wind blows from the sea to the land, and that is why these winds are known as monsoon winds or southeast monsoon winds, because they origin in the southern hemisphere in cooler Indian Ocean. So here you can see the winds blow from Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal that carries lots of moisture, and it blows through the India's mainland. So here on its way, it hit the barriers like mountain, and they release the moisture and causes heavy rainfall. So that is why the coastal part of India receives heavy rainfall and violent thunderstorm. So let's discuss this once again. So when the southwest monsoon winds, it hits the Indian coast, it is divided into two branches. One is Arabian Sea branch and the other one is Bay of Bengal branch. So here the Arabian Sea branch, it blows towards the west coast and brings heavy rainfall in parts of Gujarat and in some parts of coastal India. And here the second branch, that is the Bay of Bengal branch, it is further divided into two branches. One moves towards the eastern India in Myanmar and Bangladesh, and other one moves into the northern plain in the Gangetic Valley and towards the low pressure region of the northwestern part of India. So here the west coast and Gangetic Delta receives heavy rainfall of about 20 centimeter, and by the time the monsoon wind it reaches the northern plain, it brings lesser rain of about 50 to 100 centimeter, and by the time it reaches the western Rajasthan, it becomes dry, and the area, that is the Great Indian Desert, it receives very less rainfall of about 25 centimeter, and towards the end of September the rainfall decreases and it reaches the plain of Punjab and northwestern part of India in the month of September. And in the year 1861, during the monsoon season, Cherrapunji in Meghalaya was once the wettest place in the world. But now, Mawsynram near Cherrapunji, it records the highest rainfall in the world at 1187 centimeter and is the wettest place in the world. So this was about the monsoon season. Now let's discuss the next season, that is retreating monsoon season, which is also known as autumn season. So here in this season, by the end of September, the sun begins to move towards equator and then to the southern hemisphere, and reversal of wind takes place. That is, the wind moves from the land towards the Bay of Bengal. Here the temperature in the northern plains, it decreases because the sun's rays no longer falls on Tropic of Cancer. Here the southwest monsoon winds, it seems to withdraw. That is why it is known as retreating monsoon. Here the word retreating means returning, and that is why autumn season is also known as retreating monsoon season. And here the southern part of India, especially Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, receives heavy rainfall in this season. And this season is also marked by cyclones in the Bay of Bengal. They hit the east coast of India and parts of Bangladesh and causes huge damage to life and property. For example, the Great Orissa Cyclone of 1999, then the Cyclone Philin in 2013, then the Cyclone Titli that hit the Bengal, Orissa and Andhra Pradesh coast in October 2018. So, this was about the retreating monsoon. Next season is the winter season. Now, here in this season, by December, the sun is vertically over the Tropic of Capricorn. That means the sun rays does not fall directly on India. Instead of, the sun rays falls slantingly on India and the temperature over the land begins to fall. So, the winter season begins in late November and continues until the end of February. Here the weather condition is cold and dry. Here you can see the northern plain and the great Indian desert. It experiences very cold climate, and the southern part of India, it experiences very high temperature due to the surrounding sea. And the coastal regions, it has moderate climate, and the mountain areas in the north, northwest and northeastern part, it has the lowest temperature, that is below freezing point because of its altitude, because we have already discussed that as the altitude increases, there is a decrease in the temperature. At this time, the land is cooler and it has high pressure, whereas the sea is warmer and it has low pressure. So, during this time, the wind, it blows from the land region to the sea region, and that is why these land winds are known as northeast monsoon winds. Now, as these winds, they blow from the land, they are unable to pick the moisture and they do not bring rainfall to most parts of India. But only when they move over the Bay of Bengal, they collect the moisture and brings rainfall to some parts of east coast, especially Tamil Nadu. So, Tamil Nadu, it receives more than half of annual rainfall in winter season, which is brought by the northeast monsoon winds. And also some westerly disturbances coming from the Mediterranean region brings rainfall to the northwestern part of India like Punjab, eastern Rajasthan, western Uttar Pradesh and Delhi. So, this was about the major seasons of India. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.